Hello, friends. Debra MacIntyre here. I am a naturopath in private practice in Roswell, Georgia. And today I want to talk to you about preventing the flu. 'Tis the season, and as the holidays draw closer, we're also going to have more vulnerability to the flu with stress and indulging in foods and things like that. I'm going to share this out of my own timeline, pardon me. And you notice I'm wearing my colors today. Our Atlanta United is in the playoff games. And so we have our second playoff tonight, and I get to go with my kiddos. So anyway, let's talk about the flu. The number one thing that makes a person vulnerable to the flu is being run down. And that would be things like not getting enough sleep, being stressed out, not eating properly, etc. So those basics become super, super important when you move into cold and flu season. And people, get busier over the holidays. It's easier to miss sleep, but it's super, super important. So you want to pay a lot of attention to that. If you need some tips on how to get a better night's sleep, the video I did last week is on that. You can just go up to the videos at the top of our Facebook page and you can get some good tips if that is a hard thing for you. All right, so no rundown. We got to keep ourselves in tip-top shape. The next thing is exercise. I'm going over some basics here, right? Because the fundamentals are always the most important things. We can take tons of vitamins, but if the fundamentals are out, you're not going to do well. So getting regular exercise is also super important. Now, I want to talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D in a medical test has a range that's pretty wide, 30 at the low end, 100 at the high end. And for your best protection against the flu, because vitamin D is super important for that, you want to be in that range between 60 and 80. So you could have your blood tested, be at a 35, get the results back, and you just get, oh, you're normal, you're good, no problem here, right? But you might be 35, which really doesn't give you protection. So I recommend getting yourself tested. Now, if you need to go online and order a test yourself, I'm going to give you a website. This company is called Direct Labs. And you can order your own vitamin D test there. It's very inexpensive, and just get the number for yourself. Now, I haven't said much about vaccines. As a naturopath, I can't really give medical advice. It is good advice, though, I always say. Vaccines are something that people should research. We have a lot of advertisements out now to get your flu shot. Even free flu shots are available. And so you want to do your own research, because I can't technically tell you do or don't get a flu shot. I can tell you I'm personally not going to do that because I really don't feel the need to. If you follow these tips that I'm talking about, you can really shore yourself up. And if you do get a cold or the flu, you're in much better shape to fight it off. Also, the flu vaccine for people over 50 is really not that effective. So do the research yourself. Joseph Mercola has a lot of articles about the flu shot. And there's his website. And he is an osteopathic doctor, so he can legally talk about this stuff, even though I cannot. But whether you get the flu shot or not, and some people get it because they have to for their job, these tips are going to help you. So we talked about, first and foremost, you do not want to let yourself get run down. You've got to get your sleep. You got to eat your vegetables, drink your water. And if you're stressed out, then exercise becomes even more important, so it doesn't pull down your vitality and make you at risk for the flu. So we talked about that. We talked about optimizing your vitamin D level, and that should be between 60 and 80 on a medical blood test. Now, the next thing I want to talk about from a prevention standpoint is using lavender oil. Oh my gosh, this is such a great tip, and it has helped so many people over the years. I've been talking about this for well over a decade now. And what you do is you take a little spray bottle and put 30 drops of lavender oil. I'll put the recipe here. 30 drops of lavender, oops, in a 3-ounce bottle, and fill it with water. You can keep this in your purse or in a pocket or in your car console, something like that. You can use it on grocery shopping carts, because this is the other thing. The hand sanitizers that people use actually are pesticides, and they make you more vulnerable to the flu. So you think you're doing a great thing, you know, cleaning everything off with these hand sanitizers, including yourself. But the hand sanitizers actually make you more vulnerable to colds and flu. So the lavender oil recipe that I just posted in the comments has been tried and true, like I said, for well over a decade. You shake it up, you can spray your hands and rub them. You can spray grocery handle carts, you know, public restrooms, just spray the handles of the sink, things like that. And I also tell people, if you have little kids, because, you know, they are carriers for all these germs that come through. When they get home from school, just unload their backpack, shake up the lavender spray, spray everything down in the backpack. You would be shocked at how much this reduces the level of colds and flu that will spread through your household like wildfire if you have a school-aged child. So lavender is another great tip. Now there are 2 herbs that you can take. For adults, astragalus, and I'll put that in the comments. So astragalus for adults, and you can get this at any good health food store. It's very, very easy to find. Just follow the directions on the label, because there are different potencies that have different dosages. And then elderberry, which a lot of people know about for kids and adults. So you can get elderberry gummies, elderberry syrup. It's a great little immune enhancer, and it'll help you. Now this one, I have to focus a little to type because the spelling is so unusual, but this is a fabulous thing to keep on hand. It's called Acylococcinum. Can't spell and talk at the same time. Acylococcinum that I just put in the comments. Double-blind placebo-controlled studies show that it is 80% effective against the flu, like clearing it up if you start to come down with the flu. The trick of it is you have to start taking it within the first 24 hours. So a lot of us will be like, I don't know, I think I feel a tickle, I don't know, maybe I have a little headache. You know, we sort of, you know, doubt ourselves. Am I sick? Am I not sick? And by the time a day goes by and we know we're sick, it has already settled a little bit deeper. Acylococcinum can still help, but maybe not at that 80% rate. So if you question about feeling like you're coming down, definitely start using it. It comes in tubes. It's little sugar pellets. Your kids will love it too. And the instructions say to take a whole tube, I think twice a day. But what I like to do is take a third of a tube, melt under your tongue, and do it like every 2 hours. So you're giving your body a little bit more of a constant support over you know, that 24-hour period. So that's a good one. That one's tried and true. All right, so we talked about not letting yourself get run down, being sure that you exercise, especially if you're stressed out. Even a 10-minute walk just gets that stress energy out of your body, because that makes you vulnerable as well. We talked about vitamin D should be between 60 and 80. We talked about lavender spray, astragalus, and elderberry. Now, one of my secret weapons is peppermint oil, but peppermint oil must be manufactured to be able to be taken orally. If you just go to the health food store and buy peppermint oil off the shelf, you can't take it orally. Now, you can put a few drops in the palm of your hand, rub it together, and inhale it. You can do that. But as far as taking it orally, If you want peppermint oil, you can call my office and order it. I get this really amazing one from Germany, and it works great. So what you do with the peppermint oil is you keep it on hand. And if you are, let's say you're in an office setting and you hear some coworkers coughing in the background and you think, oh geez, this is about to spread through like wildfire. You use your peppermint oil while you're in that environment. In my office, of course, I get a lot of people that come in who want to use natural remedies to get better when they catch a cold or flu. And so the moment I know that somebody's coming in because they don't feel well, I start taking the peppermint oil. On an airplane, it's awesome because you've got all that recirculated air. So peppermint oil is really, really good. And of course, your breath will smell fantastic. So let me know if you want us to send you peppermint oil. It's super inexpensive and really, really works. And then the last thing I want to tell you about that you can do preventively is keep vitamin C on hand. Humans, are one of only a very, very few creatures on the planet who don't have the ability to manufacture our own vitamin C. So, let's take a deer. I've got them in my backyard all the time now, but let's take a deer. If a deer hears a gunshot and gets all stressed out, then their body automatically makes more vitamin C to help them deal with the stress. And if it drinks out of a creek and there's toxic chemicals in the creek, its body makes more vitamin C, but we don't have the ability to do that. So I love having people take 1,000 twice a day just as a preventive, but if they do feel like they're coming down or they're stressed out or they ate a meal that was really not that healthy, taking extra vitamin C really helps. So I want to shout out to some people that have joined us today. Mark, thanks for being here. Kyle, Anita, really good to see you. And Anita says, just ordered some organic elderberry this morning. That is awesome. It is really, really good for both adults and kids. Annabelle, so happy you're here. And so I hope these tips are helpful to you, because as we go through this season, it happens to coincide with when our days are shorter and we don't get as much natural vitamin D from the sun. And then B, our stress levels tend to be a little bit higher because of the holidays. And then C, we're busier over the holidays, and so our basics, our fundamentals of sleep, water, exercise, good food can go down. So use these tips. Let me know if you do start to come down. Definitely give me a call, because there are many, many natural remedies that you can do to help yourself get over a cold or a flu. All right, I love you guys. Thanks for joining. I hope to see you next week on Halloween. Take care. Have a good week.